Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. Today we're here with Elliot from Armada Engineering. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. You know, our editor and his team obviously been working with you guys for about 6-8 months. You know, like you said it outside when we were talking, you're one of those companies that a little bit under the radar have been building some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, no, we've been just kind of busy from word of mouth, and we're all out here in the shop with our heads down working, and it's been hard to focus on social media and trying to grow our presence online. But the past 6 months, we've been working with the Suede Ops guys, and they've been really helping us step that up.
So questions for you is how long have you had Armada?
I started it back in 2011, kind of working out of the garage of the place I was living at the time. Started working on something like old Broncos and stuff, and the neighbors started complaining. So we kind of forced to move out into a shop space, got a little 2,000 square foot shop here in Chatsworth. And I've just started scaling from there. We started just kind of mostly doing design work, and then we started building complete cars for customers. We've done some stuff in the movie industry, building movie cars. My passion's always been off-road racing, so the trophy trucks and trophy truck specs and pre-runners and all that extreme off-road stuff is really what drives me and gets me excited. So
curious, dude, because you look really young to me. How old are you?
38.
38, and you've had the company for 13 years, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you, bro.
And I think at a young age, I always had a drive that like I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to create something on my own, and I like being creative and doing things my own way.
Is the primary focus for you guys at this point building stuff like what we're going to get into today?
Yeah, right now I'm kind of changing the direction of the business a little bit. I think through the years we found out this is a really niche market, and it takes a special kind of person to build the trucks at the level that we do. And it's really difficult to find people nowadays that want to work with their hands and work at that level of detail. So we've got a handful of really good guys here, but we just can't keep up with the demand. So we've been building a whole bunch of these trucks behind you, the luxury trophy truck pre-runners, and we have tons of people calling. But one, they're just too expensive because of the amount of labor that goes into them, and two,
I can imagine this thing's got to be in the $500,000 or more range.
Yeah, closer to $750,000.
There you go.
Yeah. So they're pretty pricey. Keep people calling all the time, and you tell them the price, like, oh, that's out of my budget. So right now we're working on a new project. We're coming out with a kind of a kit car version of this truck. So we're gonna sell a complete fully welded chassis with all the parts you need to assemble a running vehicle, less the drivetrain.
Got it.
And then people can buy them, they can assemble them in their garage at home, and then they can go to the DMV here in California and register them as a special construction title and get a license plate for it.
Very cool. Well, dude, why don't we do this? Let's get you guys, we're gonna bring Rob in. Rob's the lead, he's the lead builder in your shop, correct?
Yeah, Rob's one of our head technicians. He's done a lot of the work on this truck behind us. And he can tell you all about it.
Cool, let's bring Rob in and get into this thing. And yes, we are gonna go for a drive, and there's a good chance of a oh shit face from Sean, because I know we're gonna hit some dirt today.
Yeah, we got some dirt and some canyon roads. We'll see if we can shake you up a bit.
Yeah, cool. Awesome, dude. Thank you, Elliot.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. All right, you guys, so you got a brief overview of what Armada Engineering is from Elliot, the owner of the company. What we're gonna do is bring in Rob, the lead builder. He had his hands pretty much in every aspect of the truck that we're specifically shooting today, so say hello to Rob.
Hey everybody, like you said, I'm Rob, lead builder mechanic here at Armada Engineering, and this behind us is our luxury pre-runner. And I think we're gonna talk a little more about it.
Oh, dude, I have so many questions because I don't like to know about stuff when we're shooting it. I wanna learn while they're learning, and then it's all like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, do you start with anything, or is it full custom everything?
This one here is based off of, I believe the cab on this one is a 2008 F-150.
Okay.
That's about where it stops. We enter the cab of the truck into our CAD model, and then once it's in the CAD model, we take our trophy truck and splice it inside of it. It's got a VIN number, legal to be registered all 50 states, but it's definitely not something you're gonna be able to pick up from the factory.
You just touched on something that I think is important, because a lot of companies, in my opinion, they build, my buddy Sean, who's a designer, Sean calls it sketching in metal. Sounds like, so you guys start everything in design and CAD, modeling, 3D, all the different engineering aspects first.
Big time. If you're gonna try and do any sort of production run, or you're gonna try and make the results repeatable, you need to have the same starting base every time. A roadmap, if you would.
Yeah, it's a funny term, pre-runner, right? I think a lot of people get it as like, oh, it's a lifted truck that you can semi off-road, but the real idea is that you go pre-run like Baja in something like
You're
this.
gonna take this with its 120 gallons of fuel and a range of about 250 miles, and you're gonna go out and attack the desert like you would be if you were racing.
And these really have to be fully capable.
Oh, 100%. You have to be at speed.
You got to be going all out.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the thing about these is you go running in a truck and you got your drink in the cup holder and the AC blowing in your face. That's the luxury part of these things.
Right. Although I did hear it, and it's as loud as anything is.
Oh yeah,
so,
you're
so
definitely gonna hear you coming. You're in it, but you could have easy communications, especially with the headsets.
Yeah. God, there's so much on this to talk about. So what's the suspension? What's the travel on it? What's the brakes, the engine, the trans? Because Elliot said this runs somewhere in the $750,000 range. So why don't you tell people why?
Why? Obviously, you got the aesthetics. I mean, this thing it's a work of art sitting here, and then you fire it up, and then it's a whole nother thing. But I guess you'd start at the heart of it. That makes all that noise. It'd be a Dugan's Big Block. I think this one's a 555 cubic inch, programmed and built by Ray Dugans, which is an engine builder that we deal with a lot. It's basically the design of a big block Chevy, but it's got all custom dart block. It's AFR heads. It's
not a Crate LS sitting in there.
No. The Dugan's Big Block that's in this is about 700 crank horse, and that's basically on 91 pump gas, pretty low compression, nothing real crazy. It's coupled to a 4L60E. We have it sent out to our transmission guy. He goes through it, he'll put, billet internals in it, 300 M input shaft, make it so that it can handle that horse.
Yeah, sure.
It's back to a 9-inch, sort of. It's designed off of a 9-inch, but it's basically a full custom tubular housing that will take a 9-inch carrier. Yeah, but it's completely custom. I mean, you could get lost in the details.
You and I were talking about it before we got started, about the levels of redundancy, the vehicle being able to take what's going to happen, which is, and let's be honest, the average guy that's going out and dropping $750,000, he wants to pre-run Baja or just have a pre-runner to go have some fun with, he's probably half the time going, let's see if we can break this thing.
That's the whole idea behind it. You build it to destroy. This one's brand new, and she's already got some love on her.
I saw it's already all rock chipped up back here on the fender.
They're only a work of art one time. These are 24 inches of front wheel travel, over 30 in the rear. I mean, this thing is street legal trophy truck. There's no other way to put it.
I get it. So it's two-wheel drive, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is more preferred, isn't it, for off-road application?
The guys that have been winning it have had a big block Chevy with a 3 or 4-speed transmission into a 10-inch ring, and they've been winning those races with those style trucks. What, early 80s?
Wow.
If you stick to that formula, it's been winning for a long time. But that's not to say that there's not room for growth, but we're in the early developments of that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big problem with most of the pre-runners that you see nowadays, you got your hood, and the thing is you got to have a buddy that will help you take your hood off. And that's kind of lame.
That's slick.
So I
already know where you're going here.
Yeah, you don't want to have to
bitching.
You don't want to have a friend to check the oil.
That's
right?
bitching, dude.
So,
all those little things matter deeply, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Deeply.
Yeah.
Wow, this is beautiful in here, man.
It's off-road jewelry, sir.
This whole intake is wild.
I mean, aside from maybe windshield wipers, wiper motor, throttle position sensor, cab, and all the glass, everything else is all one-off per vehicle.
Do you guys do everything in-house here? Like, do you outsource for, say, like your interior?
There's very few things we outsource for. Interior's one, paint's one, wiring's another one.
So, but like as far as all the body, are you guys making all this stuff?
Oh yeah, this is all CAD designed. We work with a company called Advanced Fiberglass. They've been in the fiberglass body industry for quite a while now, and we work hand in hand with them. We come up with a design. They tell us what they can and can't do, and then you wind up with something that looks like this.
Can you tell me wheel and tire sizes on here?
Yeah, these are 40-inch tall BFGs, Baja TAs, 17-inch wheel, covering a Brembo 6-piston brake. I think that's a 14-inch rotor. Billet lower arms, billet upright. I mean, everything's uniball, 4.5-inch. 6-tube bypasses, you got 3-inch coilovers. I mean, this thing, if this was the spaceship, this would be the Saturn V rocket, this would be the Tesla, this would be all of them in one.
I told you I'm not an off-road guy, but it's beautiful. Looking at, I mean, the massive friggin' control arms, just everything. It's
you're doing 120 miles an hour through 3-foot holes. Everything's got to be built to run into a wall.
Are you guys making your own control arms
Yeah,
and stuff?
pretty much all of the fabrication, the paneling, you know, there's only a handful of things that aren't done completely in-house.
Got it. Oh, I just caught where your exhaust exit is. That's really slick.
Oh,
is
yeah.
it both sides? Mm-hmm. That's bitching.
Yeah, they're integrated into the fenders, and the reason for that is you want to try and keep it out of the rocks so that it's not getting beat up. So
Yeah.
you know, we just had a top exit right there out of the fender, and it sounds like a monster. I'm sure you
It
guys
sounds
heard it.
incredible. I mean,
It's-
and I've only heard it at idle here.
Yeah.
I'll-
It's not a lot of things to get me going, but when I get out of this thing, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. No, I will be too, believe
yeah.
me. So when I first walked in, Chris on the team pointed out, this is your fuel cell?
The fuel cell is integrated into the back of the truck because basically you're trying to keep everything in a real tight package.
Yeah.
You know, try and keep everything close to center line because you have a lot of weight up front with
Sure.
the engine and all the billet arms.
You need to get weight back
You
here
gotta
also.
have a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So with this, what it gives you is you have so much tire behind, you know, center line of your diff.
Totally.
So what that does is once you start losing fuel, you don't get a lot of that. You'll start to feel a little bit of it, but it keeps the truck at a way more balanced perspective.
Got it. My favorite part about customs is metalwork, looking at the stuff like this. Like, that's friggin' jewelry, those
Oh
weld.
yeah. You know, you can see up through here, there's basically an entire aluminum skin that
Yeah.
lives underneath the fiberglass body because
Yeah.
you got rocks and you got everything, and you're trying to keep it away from all the your critical components inside.
I get it, dude, of course.
There's a lot of things that you don't really see when she's got her dress on, but
Nah, I know.
when you take it off,
Yeah.
it's just as sexy with it off, if not more.
I believe me, I get it, man. I like anything that's a well done custom, be it a hot rod or a truck. It's when you see underneath, it's usually where the beauty's at.
Well, and that's why I take pride as a builder in that. You know, it's
Yeah.
something that if nobody's gonna see it, I'm gonna know about it. So it's gotta be,
And at
it's
some
gotta look
point-
just as good this way.
And at
as
some point, a guy like you, probably this matters to you, would be my guess, is at some point you sell this, your customer owns it, then he sells it.
Yeah.
He has to go get work done on it somewhere.
They
And he
take it
doesn't live
apart.
close
Yeah.
to here, right? So somebody else digs
Yeah.
in and they go, oh, look at those boogery welds.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You don't want to be that guy.
No, I'm not gonna put my name on anything.
Dude, I love that. I love
your
that.
reputation in this world's all you got. So if you put out a bad product, you're gonna be known for the guy putting out a bad product.
Agreed, man. Agreed. That level of care matters.
I've told everybody, 10 times over, this is the coolest thing that I have ever built, hands down, in my life.
Yeah. The choices you guys made on the design work on the body elements, it just looks radical. And anyone questioning the price tag, this stuff's not cheap. It's not to do it at this level. It's not.
And you're paying for, all custom components, 100% put together, but you're also paying builder. I got 15 years of experience, all together at this company, racing probably close to 10. So you're not just paying for what you see. You're paying for the time,
all the years it took you to
I
get there.
spent to get here. All the busted knuckles and the late nights and all that stuff. You pay for that.
Okay, there'd be so much to talk about on the mechanical elements, but I'm curious to hear, especially your paddle shifted on this.
Yeah, because of this thing being designed as a 3-seater, you don't want to have a big center console that comes down, and you don't want to, shifters, because otherwise the guy in the back seat would be like, protecting the jewels every time you go to grab another gear. So we
Don't go for low gear.
Exactly. That paddle shift is integrated into it. It works off of a pretty wazoo actuator that it's mounted vertically next to it, and then it just works off of electrical impulses.
Is it a manual valve body where you have to shift? Or,
Yeah.
So your shifts are fast. You don't have the click, wait a minute, click, wait a minute.
No. As soon as you could pull it.
So it almost is like a sequential.
Yeah.
In a
And with
sense.
the 700 horse, I think we're right around 450, 460 at the wheels.
I mean, nowadays we're living in the, it only makes that, if it's not over 1,000, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
You hear
yeah,
it from everybody.
Curb weight on this thing's right around 7,000 pounds. So yeah, you did 460 horsepower. You could use more, but the problem with getting into that realm is then you start building something under the hood that gets to be unreliable, because it starts getting high compression. You start turning something that you need to go 500 to 300 miles at a clip. You start worrying about the thing under the hood, and that doesn't put a driver at ease when he's trying to remember what the course is.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's bitching in this interior. And are you running, so you're running everything through a Motec system?
Oh yeah, it's ran off of a complete custom file that a guy named Kyle, he comes out and he'll program it. And the thing with Motec is you can have 1,000 inputs. You can read everything from oil pressure to temperature to water temperature, water pressure. I mean, it has lambda readouts so that you know what's going on with the air fuel mixture. There's no platform for this to be based on. It's 100% custom. So with that comes custom wiring and custom, design and programming and all that stuff.
I get it, dude. Who made the choice to go with the plaid pattern? Which I think, by the way, is absolutely badass on this truck.
Yeah, we were trying to find a way to incorporate all the colors of the truck. We just kind of wanted to go with something different. I think it fits very well.
I dig it, dude. I really do. The third seats, bitch. And looking at all this, I mean, your cage work is so, again, I'm looking at your welds and the level of detail you guys put into what you do it's so obvious from just standing here looking at this truck, bro.
Appreciate it. That's why the price tag is what it is, and but it's
totally get it.
We went out testing on Monday with the owner of this truck, Joe, and we went out to Lucerne and put some miles on it. That's where she got all chipped up and everything.
Yeah.
But being able to go out and put it through its paces and the customer to have the biggest grin on his face ever, and then he let me as the builder, he's like, he got out of it, Elliot drove it, he drove it, and he's like, hey, you need to take it for a spin. I was like, all right, sir. So
yeah.
As a builder, we're not generally the guys that buy these things. To be able to do that, got out of it, and I'm like, okay, well, I think I know what I'm going to be spending the rest of my money on for the rest of my life is going to be.
Seriously, I mean, the level of detail, like your switches, which,
yeah.
by the way, what are these? I've never seen this setup.
This is all custom keypad stuff we get from a wiring company.
So they're all push button?
Yeah, these are all push button, fully programmable switches. It comes along with the Motec. You can't use the factory CAN bus stuff because it doesn't exist anymore. So you got, your power door locks just like you would. You get your windows work just like they would, and trying to make this thing as user-friendly as possible, but also incorporate some, finer design aspects and, turning it into a little bit of an art piece and mostly functionality. So, that's the thing in the off-road world is you get a lot of guys that can build something almost or as capable as this.
Yeah.
But the fit and finish, that's where you start to lose it. But you got a lot of guys that are coming up that are putting stuff out there now that we got some real good competition. So it keeps driving us to come up with cooler and better and the next innovation. So.
Competition's great, dude. As soon as you start removing it, you start removing innovation. You
wind up with that syndrome. What's that? Big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. The whole time you and I are talking, I'm continuing to look around.
That's right. You haven't looked at this yet.
I haven't seen any of it, and I'm picking up on like your pedals, your dead pedal, even here on your center console for your third passenger to have a place to put his feet, but you're not destroying your bitchin' center console. Like it might sound like I'm being stupid about being knocked out by that, but what I see is every little detail, the level of thought, the level of care given to welds, the thought that went into your hood to make it, all these levels of thought that go into it, in my opinion, adds up to probably a better running, more safe vehicle in general, because you didn't say, that doesn't matter, it's fine, it'll be okay.
And I'm glad you brought up safety, because in off-road racing, there's always the looming danger of the yard sale.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want to be in something that you're not comfortable. Armada, and I would hope at any off-road shop that, you need to make safety paramount. There's things that can happen and they happen real fast. These things have to be built to withstand, everything but a direct missile attack, basically. So this one, like I said, it's a one-off work of art. I mean, you got your ice chest, if you want to be out in the desert, it's hot in the desert, right? But
come on,
you want to be out in the desert and you want to have yourself a cold drink, so you just pop open your ice chest.
That's so badass, and it's a powered one, so
Yeah.
you don't even have to actually load ice in there.
No. You don't want to get a bunch.
It's a mini refrigerator.
Yeah,
basically.
you don't want to get a bunch of water inside of your truck, do you? So that's
Yes.
part of the aspects of it. You know, being a luxury pre-running.
For
You
sure.
You got to think about everything.
Yeah. All right. One last thing before, and then we are gonna go drive this thing, you guys. I say we like as if I'm gonna have anything to do with it. I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat and go ah. So the headlights I was looking at before. Paul told me to check them out. He's like, try to guess what these are from. Start guessing kind of luxury brand vehicles. What are these from again?
Yeah, these are actually borrowed from a Dodge Journey. You know, so we the minivan fans out there. You know, the minivan could be part of a awesome trophy truck one day. Who knows?
I'm looking forward to seeing in the comments how many people go, dude, the only thing on that truck that I can afford is the headlights.
The rest of the lighting is provided by Baja Designs.
Got
And
it.
That is, you know, if you're going to be doing, 100 miles an hour through the desert and it's dark,
Yeah.
you don't
You wanna
ever
see.
want to be able to outdrive your lighting. Like you said, things happen fast, and if you
Treacherous.
can't see.
Yeah. And then this is you guys fabricating this.
This is a full fabricated steel bumper. Like I said, she's a work of art.
Yeah. Wow, you really do have a ton of clearance under here, don't you?
Oh yeah. You got to think some of the grooves in these courses. I mean, you could stand in it and you'd be up to your waist.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah,
man.
these things are built one-off to do the things that they're capable of doing, and at Armada here, we take pride in our ability to do that.
I love that, brother. Let's go, we'll throw cameras in, we'll go for a little. Are you the one driving me around?
No. Unfortunately, I got
You gotta go back to work?
a couple more of these I got to build.
So I'm guessing the big dog, Elliot.
Yeah, he'll probably.
Bitchin'.
Why don't you see if you can give the fans something to make fun of in the comments? You know, maybe get them to really lose it. It was a good one, Sean.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
man. Thanks, Rob.
Nice to meet y'all.
All right, we're gonna go drive, you guys. Really cool that you guys went with the paddle setup rather than your usual shifter down in the center console.
Yeah, that's one thing when I was designing the dash is that shifter just gets in the way of everything. I wanted this clean, center touchscreen, kind of like the new Ford Raptors have. I'm trying to back the shifter in here is just so bulky, so I'm like, let's get rid of this paddle shifter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not just any paddle shifter. The electric actuator on the transmission to shift it is like a $5,000 aircraft solenoid.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's what makes your shifts instant rather than the delay from each click of the paddle.
Instant and accurate. It's really
Yeah.
important because if that thing's off, a millimeter, you're going to burn up a transmission.
Wow. Gotcha. I'm already smiling and you barely done anything. And I know you get this, bro. It's so foreign to me, the amount of movement that happens in these big trucks. That it just it's insta smile for me. Oh wow, that shift really is an instant, like a man. It very much mimics the feel of a sequential, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like a sequential without the clutch.
So this is the most recent finish from you guys?
Yeah, we literally just delivered this to the customer on Monday. We took it out to Asad and did a little shakedown run with them. And then we're also building a custom flatbed for his Dodge 550 at the shop.
Oh, that was his. God.
Yeah, so that's at powder coat right now. So we'll have that back next week. Bolt that thing all together, and then we'll fly back in and he'll haul everything back to Texas with him.
Oh, he's loving it. He lives in Texas. He can actually go use this.
Yeah, no, he's got like a 400-acre ranch out there, so he's gonna build like his own private track.
Cool.
And this guy too, he's so humble. He grew up, he made his own wealth. Nobody handed it to him.
Yeah.
And he's just like one of the guys in the shop. He comes out there and gets his elbows dirty, and one of the guys.
Yeah. The driving is very different than a car. Like when you're on the dirt, you're on road that's constantly changing on you.
There's so many principles in road racing, ways to set up suspension and geometry and stuff like that. They just throw them out the window when you get off-road race cars. There's so many variables in the course.
Yeah.
Like NASCAR, you're going around the same corner every time.
Yeah.
So it's easy to tune for that, where in desert racing, every corner's different, every bump's different.
Yeah.
It's so hard to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, and just like when I was sitting passenger with Rob, and I'm watching his steering input, we're going straight, but to keep it going straight, he's constantly giving it input.
Yeah, we have a 1.5 to 1 ratio steering rack in these things, so they respond really quick. A normal car is like a 12 to 1 ratio, so we're way faster than a normal car.
Yeah, man, I love these push buttons setup you guys have. It's really slick.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They got the raised buttons, so really defined, and you can feel the touch on them. And they got a little bit of color to light up at night. It's defined and see which one's which.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell you guys your company's geeks for what you're doing. You know, I mean that in the best way, obviously, but you can tell you guys are genuinely passionate about it.
All the details matter. And it's like everything we build, it's like, everyone's so stoked on everything on the truck. I'm always looking for like the little flaws and imperfections because I want to make everything perfect and figure out what can we do better, how do we evolve, how do we build something that's even better and over the top than this one.
Sure. Your interior guys do a fantastic job. I mean, it's really cool to actually see the level of detail is the same as what I'm used to in the Pro Touring world.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We got a really good guy right down the street from us. He's super reliable. He comes in, picks up panels. He's like, I'll have it back to you on Thursday at 1 p.m. And he's there Thursday at 1 p.m. It's been one thing that's difficult is we try to do as much as we can in-house under one roof, so we have control over it, we can manage it, but things we have to outsource. It's hard. We got to hit deadlines, and the other guy's not answering the phone. We don't know where we're at with getting out certain things done.
Yeah.
But we've found a good network of vendors that can deliver on time and keep us on schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what is nice about the San Fernando Valley here is there's such a good network of resources for the automotive industry. I think the hot rod world really started here. There's still a ton of hot rod guys and automotive shops and really talented people.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Pickups and stuff like that. It's like they just hack apart a OEM vehicle and they just don't really handle well. They're just clunky and really shitty to drive around town. This thing is super comfortable. You take your hands off the wheel on the freeway at 90 miles per hour.
It's just straight, yeah.
That's one thing that people don't realize is how much work these off-road trucks are. Everything's custom and fabricated. It just takes so much time to do this stuff.
I'm glad you guys were open about talking about the dollar amounts involved. And I know a lot of people probably go, holy crap, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, nobody's saying $750 million is not a lot. But if you want something that looks this good and is this capable, sorry to say, that's what it's going to cost you.
Yeah, I mean, and just the parts themselves, the cost of materials on this thing's insane. The motor package is $60,000. The transmission is $25,000. The ring pinion in the back is $8,000. It adds up fast.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. It's like you look at all the comments on Instagram and stuff, and they're like, oh, 500,000 plus, that's crazy.
Yep.
I have no idea. So then we've got on the mode tag, we've got all kinds of telemetry in here. We can switch to different modes. And you can see gear oil temperature in the rear end, coolant temperature, coolant pressure, trans temperature, engine oil temperature. You got your lambdas, fuel pressure, your pedal percentage. So to give it throttle, you can see what percentage of throttle pedals there.
What's lambda?
Those are the air fuel ratio in the exhaust.
Got it.
Or, I'm sorry, not the air fuel ratio. Basically the oxygen sensor in the exhaust pipe.
Okay.
And then all the ground speeds off of GPS. We even have a safety feature in the paddle shifter so that if you go up into gear and then you try to come back. So once it sees ground speed, then you try to go into neutral or the reverse. It won't go to reverse until it sees 0 ground speed. So you can't accidentally shift to reverse while you're moving forward.
That's genius.
And then we also have a feature too. So if you're like in 3rd gear and something happens, you have no shift moment, you just grab both paddles at the same time and it automatically goes to neutral.
Genius.
Sideways.
Holy cow, dude! That's, I gotta tell you, man, that's freakish to me. It's just totally freak show. This is the shit that really trips me out, dude. How you can just go through those little ravines and you don't even have to think about it. The suspension does all the work.
Yeah, it's just the big old 40-inch tires. You don't even feel those bumps.
Yeah.
So like this is like the stuff in Mexico we race on. You're in tight canyon roads like this.
Really?
Yeah. Gotta be able to react fast. That's why we have the quick ratio steering in here. You're coming around blind turns and you gotta be able to be nimble.
So that's the purpose of this, as I understand it. Pre-runners, you go run it first.
Yeah, so you go ahead of time and you can map out the course.
Is it harder to drive with the road super dry like this?
No, it's not too bad with these things. Got a neighborhood over here.
For you, that probably seems like just cruising, huh?
Oh yeah, it's warming up.
I'm sweating balls over here. I don't know what it's like for you over there, but in the passenger seat, the feeling honestly is like you're on the edge of out of control the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, especially on tight little roads like that, you got this big old piece of equipment, you're trying to navigate through these tiny little trails.
Totally.
But you got the horsepower, the torque, and the quick steering. It just helps you to be nimble and react quickly.
You gotta be so comfortable being constantly sideways. It just doesn't seem right at all. Oh my God dang. Oh shit.
Can you imagine doing that for 1,000 miles down Mexico?
I was just thinking that, like, how the hell do you guys, man, the level of focus, bro. We're right on the edge of it. It's accelerating. Man, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us today, bro.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. It helps us get some more exposure, and hopefully it helps you guys get some good action.
Yeah. I hope you guys have had a fun episode with us. I've been having a blast riding in this truck. The Armada guys are not only just cool people, but they definitely build some amazing vehicles. I mean, this truck is proof of what they do. So while you guys are sitting here watching, we're going to head off into the trails and go have some more fun. And I'm going to say, oh shit, a couple more times. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, you guys. Later.